Hey, good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live, hold on a minute, Marco Rubio moment. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. Let's start by telling people how to get in touch with the show. If you'd like to be a part of what we're doing this morning, get involved, make any comments or whatever. Our phone number to reach us is 706-889-9700. You can text that number at any time to get involved in the conversation or make a comment at any time. Also, chief@fetchernews.com is our email address. Follow us on Twitter. I cannot see that monitor across the screen. Yeah, there it is. It's the same thing it was the last 365 days. Follow us on Twitter @FetcherNews and @FYNTV. If you will go to our YouTube channel, while we're talking about this, our YouTube channel, and subscribe, that's FYNTV, Fetch Your News. You subscribe there, and anytime we're broadcasting anything live or we upload a video, you'll get a notification. I think that's everything. Now, tomorrow, before we get started, let me tell you a little bit. Okay, Donald Trump is tweeting out, no evidence of collusion. Isn't that like a daily tweet witch hunt? Okay, we'll look at that in just a minute. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a special show at Circuit World. Went up yesterday, laid everything out in Blue Ridge. Why are we doing a Wednesday show? Because I'll tell you why. Okay, because I'm not going to wait for Amanda to ask me, like, why. I mean, it's like, why are we doing a Wednesday show? So somebody could have said, why, like to make it interesting. But let me tell you why we're doing a Wednesday show at Circuit World with guests and what this show is about. You know, I've about had it with, because we live in North Georgia, and we actually have very good law enforcement, and for the most part, okay, very good law enforcement. And you know, on a daily basis, right now, we're listening to this. Put the sheriff up in Florida. This really bad sheriff, Scott Israel. Okay, this guy is just terrible. And you're hearing resource officers, deputies, that we now have a count of 4, okay, one there, a count of 4 that did not go in. And although Parkland is a major metropolitan area, it's an enormous metro area, we here, I call it the could never happen here zone. And I always caution us in North Georgia or out there in rural America, you know, what I call never could happen here zone. But we're hearing over and over from the media bad reports on deputies that would not go into this school, all right? We are hearing news conferences with a superintendent that I may say is very liberal superintendent, falls right in to the chronological order of failures there in Parkland, okay? We're hearing a superintendent, we're hearing about deputies and SRO that was on the campus that would not go in, that his attorney released a statement and said he is not a coward, okay? He just wanted to live, right? That's what, basically, my client is not a coward. He just wanted to live, all right? So we're hearing that. We're hearing a sheriff, okay? And all of this is negative. So I thought what we would do, because we are concerned, our first and foremost concern is the safety of our children. And there's questions around the social media world with kids, social media world. How are threats being received from your local sheriff's office? What things are in place in the schools, or what things are in place for security for your children while they're at school? And what are the positives from superintendents? What are the positives from local sheriffs in North Georgia? What are the positives about SROs? So right now we have confirmed we're going to be at Circuit World tomorrow at 8 a.m. and you are invited. The public is invited. Parents, teachers, students. Now, this is not a gun control forum we're having tomorrow. This is not a gun control. So if you want to come and yell that we need to ban AR-15s, sorry, but this will not be the place for you, okay? If you want to come and yell out, weapons of war, or you want to boycott the NRA, this will probably not be, this is not for you, okay? But we have two superintendents of schools, Dr. Gwatney, the superintendent of schools of Fannin County, will be with us. Dr. Shanna Wilkes, the superintendent of schools in Gilmer County, will be with us. We're going to talk to them. Sheriff Stacy Nicholson of Gilmer County will be with us. Sheriff Dane Kirby of Fannin County will be with us, okay? The district attorney, B. Allison Sosby, will be with us tomorrow. And Sheriff Nicholson has, he's looking into the schedule, but we may have the head of SRO with us from Gilmer County, so they're looking at bringing some people in that can discuss SROs in the school. So we're going to talk to the superintendent of schools, we're going to talk to the sheriff, we're going to talk to the district attorney. What crimes, how, there's no joke anymore. If a kid sends out a tweet, if a kid sends out a Snapchat and just refers to something, it's not a joke anymore. It's just not going to be taken that way. So how do they handle it? Now, you as parents, grandparents, and students and the public, you are welcome to attend. We're going to start at 8 a.m. It's a special 2-hour show. It's going to be at Circuit World in Blue Ridge tomorrow, okay? Our all-star panel will be with us, all right? Because we're going to look at this thing all the way around, okay? Now, that being said, that's our show tomorrow. That's our show tomorrow. Now, today, Casey Cagle. So, yesterday, let's just put up the NRA. Obviously, down in Parkland, as we filter through some things, down in Parkland, we have a group of students. They have found their enemy, the NRA, pushing back on the NRA, and National Rifle Association, and all of these companies have come out, a long list, that have ended their relationship with the National Rifle Association. So if you're a member of the National Rifle Association, certain rental car agencies, certain airlines give discounts and let the NRA have their name, like Delta, on their website, the NRA's website, as enticing people to become a member. So you were able to go to the NRA and website, join, and when it said the membership comes with value, as here are the perks that you can get with the membership, you would see Delta on there. So let's put up first the string of things that have taken place, okay? Let's put up the Delta tweet. So Delta tweeted out on February 24th at 8:32 a.m., Delta is reaching out to the NRA to let them know we will be ending their contract for discounted rates through our group travel program. We will be requesting that the NRA remove our information from their website. So Delta buckled to a handful of David Hogue, and a handful of liberals in this country, the CNN types. Delta caved. Now what happens is Delta puts the NRA under what they call their group travel rates. So you are in a group, they have special rates for groups. So if you travel, you're an NRA member, you get the group travel rate, and also they ask the NRA to remove their information from their website. So let's also put up United, okay? United Airlines. United put out a tweet. I think I have it there, right? United Airlines put out a tweet. Do you have that up? Because I can't see across the room, okay? I'm having a particularly bad eyesight day. United is notifying the NRA. Okay, this was also February 24th at 10:26 a.m. United is notifying the NRA that they will no longer offer a discount rate to their annual meeting, and we are asking the NRA to remove our information from your website. Okay, you know, the friendly skies are not so friendly to NRA members. So now we have Delta, and I just want to be careful with this because it's being called the Delta tax break. But there's truth to that. Put up the Delta symbol. There's some truth to that, and we're going to get out into what Casey Cagle said, Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle, because he made Fox News, front page of all the websites for the most part. And so let's be straight here. It is a jet fuel, first of all, just so you know, it is a jet fuel tax break. And it's not just for Delta. It's all jet fuel in the state of Georgia. Now, I spoke with State Senator Steve Gooch this morning before the show. I spoke to State Senator Michael Williams this morning before the show. I spoke to both of them. So first of all, I'm on the phone with State Senator Steve Gooch, and he wants to remind everybody it's an all jet fuel, meaning not just Delta. Delta will be the biggest recipient of the discounted tax, the tax exemption on jet fuel, but United, anybody that flies into Atlanta, even if you have a jet fuel tank, for example, the jet fuel tank, my understanding from State Senator Steve Gooch, the jet fuel tank that is here in Gilmer County, that you can fill up your jet, the jet fuel tank in Pickens, in Union, no matter where you're at in the state of Georgia, you will get the jet fuel tank exemption. Now, tax exemption. That is not including, okay, aviation gas. Aviation gas is different. Standard aviation gas is different. This is jet fuel. Now, the understanding of the argument, and I just want to put it all out there before we get too deep into what happened with the NRA. The argument on the jet fuel tax exemption is international flights. That Delta's argument is they could handle more international flights out of Atlanta and not other airports across the country based on the fuel tax exemption. When you're loading up, I guess, 50,000 gallons, I don't know what it is, of jet fuel, that's an enormous amount of money on international flights. And they need, this is their argument, my understanding, they need this jet fuel exemption to be competitive to get the international flights into Atlanta, is my understanding. Just, that's the small frame of it. So yesterday, Casey Cagle, you have a picture of Casey Cagle there, or did I send one? Casey Cagle's the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Georgia. Lieutenant Governor of the state of Georgia sent out a tweet yesterday, and we, I don't know, Amanda, if any effect we had on this, but I know it was a massive push all across the state. But we tweeted out yesterday, no tax break for Delta if they're going to do this to the NRA. Okay, no tax break. Forget it. Stop the tax break. So Casey Cagle, the Lieutenant Governor, he stole the news of the day. Now, Secretary of State Brian Kemp, sorry, I apologize. Secretary of State Brian Kemp, Michael Williams, State Senator Michael Williams, and several other candidates for governor, I don't have their comments, have pushed back on the Delta tax break because of the NRA, them cutting ties with the NRA. But Casey Cagle tweeted out, let's put his tweet up there. Casey Cagle tweeted out, I will kill any tax legislation that benefits Delta unless the company changes its position and fully reinstates its relationship with the NRA. Corporations cannot attack conservatives and expect us not to fight back. Now, there's some pushback on that Casey Cagle cannot step up and say, hey, if you don't reinstate your relationship with the NRA, they can't push Delta around and force them to have a relationship with somebody in order to receive a tax cut.
People on social media are calling blackmail and exploitation and saying that what he has created is basically illegal. But what people don't understand is it's not. It's tax legislation. It's a benefit.
So, okay, but social media is calling it blackmail, illegal. I mean, the left side of social media. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and in comparison, do you remember the bakers that were shut down for not serving gay? This is what this is being compared to by conservatives. But really, it's not in any way relative, because you gotta remember that baker, his business was shut down because he had the right to refuse service to someone who didn't have the same religious belief system and was gay. Delta is getting tax breaks that Casey Cagle makes that push away.
Who is making the comparison?
It's on social media.
Social media is making the comparison. So Casey Cagle, Lieutenant Governor, which is running for governor, steps up and he gets the news cycle of the day, whether the other candidates like it or not. And he says that he will kill any tax legislation that benefits Delta unless the company changes its position fully and reinstates the relationship with the NRA. Now, when we come back, corporations cannot attack conservatives and expect us not to fight back. When we come back this morning, there's an opposing side to why Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle made this decision that we spoke to another state senator. There's been some comments about a private state senate caucus meeting that Governor Nathan Deal went into and was very upset about this pushback on Delta's tax benefit. We're going to talk about all of that when we return this morning. So that's where we're going to go with that. Also, this morning, what we're going to do is yesterday I had an opportunity. I like to say things that do not. Okay, your mic was not on. You did not have your mic on. Is the note I'm getting? When you were just talking to me.
About the baker?
Yeah.
Want to go back over that?
No, we don't need to go over it, but I got that you had, that your mic was actually not on. But anyhow, what we're gonna do this morning is, I don't like to come out as just a President Donald Trump cheerleader. I really don't. But I tell you what, this guy, for just not even 2 months ago and 6 weeks ago, the way he's handled this situation in Parkland by opening up and making sure everybody got an opportunity, from governors to teachers to local administrators, their law enforcement, it doesn't matter who it is, students, parents. He has totally opened up and listened to everybody. Yesterday, there's 2 governors that stood out to me yesterday. Was Governor from Washington State, put his picture up, Jay Inslee, who we're going to play the video later, pistol packing first grade teachers. He's the Washington State, Governor of Washington State, made a comment in the governor's open discussion about Parkland school shooting. Pistol packing first grade teachers. He did not want them packing heat. And he asked the president, a little less tweeting and a little more listening. So he felt good to kind of throw a jab at the president, and that's not what the day was about. But Donald Trump set him straight. We're going to play that a little later. Texas has a school marshal program. We listen to Texas Governor Greg Abbott. But one guy that really caught my attention was Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin, all right, and his comments. They're not making top of the list today, but, you know, there's a couple things the president brought up that was in this meeting and a couple things that happened. You know, how about some of these violent video games that these children are watching, playing, and have in their possession, these violent video games? And what about all of these mood-altering drugs that our children are being put on? And when we watch TV and we have all of these different drugs, okay, side effects, if you have suicidal thoughts, okay, I mean, there is one drug that I do know, and I'm just going to say it's supposed to help you stop smoking, but you take the drug and it's supposed to, like, change some impulses in your brain that you don't want a cigarette, right? But one of the side effects says if you have suicidal thoughts or, I'm just saying, I mean, there's everything here, but according to some, there is only the NRA. Okay, I'm going to take a break. It's 8:22 because I want to come back. I want to wrap up. I did talk to State Senator Steve Gooch. I did talk to State Senator Michael Williams before the show. I want to talk a little more about the tax cut for Delta and what happened yesterday in the news there, and concerning the NRA, and then we'll go into several videos. I want to play several videos. Trump said he would go in the building without a gun. I mean, you know, Marshall Donald, man, I mean, or Cowboy Don or whatever, he said I'd go in the building. No gun, I would have went in. So we'll play that video. I'm your host, VKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. Take us a break, Amanda.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers, and North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
All-new Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hot.
Hey, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I'm eating an apple, trying to eat a couple apples here. I enjoy apples. How do you get in touch with the show? 706-889-9700. That is our phone number and our line that you can text the show anything you want. Also, you can email us chief@fetchernews.com. All right, and you can follow us on Twitter @FetcherNews @FYNTV. So that being said, also our YouTube channel is FYNTV Fetcher News. If find us on Facebook also, but if you will subscribe to our YouTube channel anytime we're broadcasting something live or we upload a video, you'll get a notification. Now, tomorrow morning we're doing a special show, How Safe Are Our Schools in North Georgia? Okay? And we're going to reach a whole circle of things, okay? We're going to reach an entire circle of subjects tomorrow, all right? We're inviting the public, and we're going to be at Circuit World Blue Ridge. I went up yesterday, met with JR, the manager, to do a layout of the store. They're completely laying out the store a certain way. Now, why are we doing it at Circuit World, you might ask? Because we do our Friday show there, and we know our internet, we know where everything's at, we know how to do the setup and everything, and there's no wondering if we will have internet or so forth when we get ready to go at a different location. And you can come and sit in a recliner while asking a question or watching the show. So we're going to, went up yesterday to Circuit World of Blue Ridge to lay the store out in a different way so we can get people in there and everybody can have somewhere to sit. You will be able to ask questions. You will get to hear what's going on in law enforcement We're going to have the Sheriff of Fannin County, Jane Kirby, will be with us. The Sheriff of Gilmer County, Stacy Nicholson, will be with us. The District Attorney, B. Allison Sosby, will be with us. The Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Michael Gwatney, will be with us of Fannin County, and Gilmer County Charter School System, Dr. Shanna Wilkes, will be with us. So, and we're going to have some SRO officers with us. They've been invited. We're going to discuss a circle of how safe schools are in North Georgia and how serious are these social media threats. Now, we can move on to other things. There's DACA, there's the court, there's the Supreme Court looking at union dues, mandatory union dues. There's so many things, but we're going to stay focused on this another day or two. Now, the NRA became the bad guy. And, you know, I would kind of like to see Delta send out a statement saying, you know what? Anyone in the Broward County Sheriff, no, not anyone, that wouldn't be nice, but the sheriff himself of Broward County, Florida, you cannot fly on Delta any longer. You got to walk, man. You walk. If you want to go anywhere, you need to walk. And if you want to rent a car, you need to walk, okay? I mean, there should be more backlash on the failure of the system than the NRA and succumbing to a couple people. Now, Amanda, I heard there was a problem with your mic, and how is social media taking what Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle said yesterday? Let me just brief this real quick. Yesterday, we know what happened with Delta, but yesterday, put it up one more time, Casey Cagle, Lieutenant Governor of Georgia, said, I will kill any tax legislation that benefits Delta unless the company changes its position and fully reinstates its relationship with the NRA. Now, one viewer, corporations cannot attack conservatives and expect us not to fight back. One viewer said that Cagle should not be talking about tax cuts Delta tax cuts tied to the NRA. Cagle should just be coming out against the Delta tax cuts. So yesterday there's a closed session in the Georgia State Senate. This is not making the national news, and we'll put that up. But what are some of the things that you're hearing on social media, Amanda?
So people all over his tweet are posting how this is blackmail and exploitation on, before Delta. But what people don't understand, he clearly says, I will kill any tax legislation benefits. A business in California, like I said earlier, I'm sorry if my mic was killed, but in California was shut down for not serving a gay couple's wedding cake. They refused their business. As Americans, they have the right to do that.
So that's on social media this morning, though?
Yes.
All right. Georgia officials threaten Delta restore NRA ties or loss pending tax breaks. Okay, Georgia Lieutenant Governor and its state Senate are fighting back against Atlanta-based Delta Airlines' decision to sever ties with National Rifle Association. In response, a New York State official invited Delta to relocate to the Empire State after the decision. Georgia Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle pledged to kill any tax legislation that benefits the company unless it reverses course and realigns with the pro-Second Amendment organizations. Corporations cannot attack conservatives. We've already read that, okay? Let me tell you a little bit about it. The State House of Representatives recently approved a tax break on jet fuel that could save Delta $40 million, but the state Senate, which has yet to act on the bill, they're getting ready to act on it, vowed to fight it if the airlines does not relent. Delta is one of more than a dozen companies that drop discount programs and other affiliations. Okay, Lieutenant Governor of New York Kathy Hochul tweeted out, a Democrat, Lieutenant Governor of New York, "Hey Delta, as one of the most frequent flyers, Know that New York Lieutenant Governor admires your principled stance. Let's continue our great relationship. New York is open for business and loves Delta. Move headquarters where you're appreciated. So the Lieutenant Governor of New York jumped right into the game saying, hey, Delta, come here. Now, I want to go after something that a story on Gateway Pundit, okay? And the reason I want to go after this story, okay, Gateway Pundit put out, Georgia Lieutenant Governor, no tax break for Delta unless they reinstate, and they go through everything that happened, okay? Now, this is where State Senator Mike Williams put him up, okay? State Senator Mike Williams, I spoke to him this morning, says he is trying to say he took the lead on the pushback of the tax break for Delta. Okay, so his announcement came, Casey Cagle, this is what Senator Williams is making his claim in the Gateway Pundit, and he's also a candidate for governor in Georgia. His announcement came after massive pushback from Senator Mike Williams, Trump's former Georgia co-chair and Republican candidate for governor. As the Gateway Pundit previously reported, Senator Williams has been leading an offensive revolt against the massive tax break that would save Delta millions of dollars just days after the airline took a political stance against the NRA. Williams isn't done fighting, however, and responded to Cagle's tweet saying, Casey, thank you for listening to our demands. Put up Mike Williams' tweet. And this is from Mike Williams, state senator, saying to the lieutenant governor, Casey, thank you for listening to our demands. However, Delta should not receive a government handout regardless of any other issues. All right? Now, this gets into the end of the story that I want to clear up because I called State Senator Mike Williams. Delta's decision to wade into left-wing politics, again, this is also from the Gateway Pundit, okay, came just before the vote on a proposal, jet fuel, right before the vote, tax break, that could have saved the company approximately $20 million. The bill, HB 918, has already passed the Georgia State House and has moved to the Senate. So this is House Bill 918. According to a source, all right, now listen to this. This is what I want to clear up. According to a source who leaked comments at the Gateway Pundit, according to a source who leaked comments to the Gateway Pundit during a private, don't you love private, Monday morning Senate caucus meeting, all right? The governor himself showed up. Now, Governor Nathan Deal put him up, and I have confirmed that Governor Nathan Deal did show up to this meeting yesterday. I have confirmed that he was at the meeting. State Senator Steve Gooch said the governor did come into the meeting, and so did State Senator Michael Williams. According to a source that leaked the comments to the Gateway Pundit, they leaked the comments during a private Monday morning Senate caucus meeting. The governor himself showed up and let the senators know that they better push the tax cut through or they could forget about passing any legislation. The governor's chief of staff also reportedly stated that there is someone in the room that I could shoot, referring to Mike Williams over his revolt. Now, put up Chris Riley. Chris Riley is the governor's chief of staff there. And here's from the Gateway Pundit, and here's Chris Riley. Supposedly, according to this article, the governor's chief of staff also reportedly said that there is someone in the room that I could shoot. So let's look at that just momentarily, okay? We don't know the unnamed source that leaked this out. I asked Michael Williams directly, did you leak this to Gateway Pundit? Are you the unnamed source? He would not confirm or deny, but he did not confirm or deny whether he was the unnamed source. All I was told is there was 37 in the room, okay, that heard this. So there's 37 in the room, and I'm one of them, okay? According to Mike Williams, State Senator Mike Williams, Governor Nathan Deal, go ahead and put him back up. Governor Nathan Deal, pressure came in and thoroughly put the pressure on the Senate, the state Senate, or there would be consequences. This is according to State Senator Mike Williams, that Governor Deal was not happy, came in the room, and they would be consequences if the Senate did not push this through, okay? Now, so this is leading me to know, and you out there in Georgia, Casey Cagle right now on this subject, my understanding, is at odds with the governor of Georgia. Governor Nathan Deal, NRA, no NRA, wants this passed, okay? And that's my understanding this morning from the conversations, that Cagle is at odds with the governor on this issue, okay? Friday, now wait a minute, before I go any further, that Governor Deal came in and said there would be consequences if this did not go through. The understanding I have is the governor was mostly upset over the timing of everything. The House had passed it, it's over at the Senate, the timing of everything, okay? It couldn't have happened at a worse time, is my understanding, okay, in the room. The fact that Chris Riley, according to the Gateway Pundit, said there's somebody else I could shoot. Michael Williams, state senator, said that the Gateway Pundit did take that out of context. So I don't know what they got from their unnamed source that will not tell us who they are that came out, that leaked this to the Gateway Pundit, but State Senator Mike Williams said that Chris Riley did not threaten, the governor's chief of staff did not threaten to shoot him, and that was taken out of context. Now, what Williams does, put Mike Williams up, what Williams does accuse, okay, State Senator Williams accuses Casey Cagle, which is an opponent for governor, lieutenant governor of, is on Friday, Williams says, Lieutenant Governor Cagle did not have this position. It wasn't until a Monday, yesterday morning, they did a whip count. The Senate did a whip count, okay, to get a feel. It's like when you ask Mitch McConnell, are they going to bring something to the floor? They don't bring it to the floor if they don't have the vote. Now, these are Mike Williams' comments, and I'm going to say accusations, okay, that Cagle wasn't, as of Friday, Cagle was all for the Delta tax break, okay, is what Williams is asserting. Saturday, Delta says they backed away from NRA. Monday, Cagle comes out, according to Williams, and takes a whip count in the Georgia State Senate and finds out, the Georgia State Senate, that this is not going to pass. He says that's when. So, the Casey Cagle tweet came out yesterday, which is Monday, right, at 2:02 p.m., right? Am I correct on that, Amanda?
Yes, you are.
Monday at 2:02. Williams is asserting that Cagle's tweet came out at 2:02, but Cagle's tweet came out after he knew the Senate would not pass it, and he could not bring it to the floor for a vote because it would fail. All right? And then his Williams' assertion, Cagle says, this is, kindly says, my words, not Williams, but hey, I better get on board with the Senate and turn this into something. But Casey Cagle did put out the tweet. He did make the comment. He did push back. He did stand up to the governor. And he won the news cycle of the day, whether you like that or not. Now, one more thing I want to make a comment on before I move off this subject on Delta. HQ2, okay? Now, I talked to State Senator Steve Gooch, and he says, it's not true that the room was not contentious. The governor did not come in there. It was not the atmosphere that it was. I was told I can, quote, but it's just not true. What the Gateway Pundit said is just not true, okay? But I do understand Delta Money, this is a very firm statement. According to the Senate, my understanding, Georgia State Senate, Delta money is gone. No NRA, Delta money is gone. Period. That is what I understand. I understand nothing's going to, what I'm being told is going to change that. No NRA, Delta money is gone. And something else, that I want to bring up is there's a lot of liberal media around Atlanta writing about HQ2, Amazon, and will this hurt Georgia's bid for Amazon? Actually, Casey Cagle, this is not an endorsement. Read this very loud. Hear me. Look at me. Listen. This is not an endorsement. But if your tweet yesterday does anything to keep Amazon, not intentionally that you did it, but if it does anything and it keeps Amazon from coming to Georgia, thanks for the tweet. Because I'm not an HQ2 guy, absolutely not, and it's time. Okay? Amazon needs to fit into Georgia, not Georgia into Amazon. So we're tired of corporations coming to Georgia. I tell you what, New York, if you want Amazon, you can have them. We'll let you have them. I'm your host, BKP. I'm taking another break, and I want to move this. Is anything on this subject you think we haven't covered? I don't know. I've not heard any fallout, and I'd like for you to look and see if there's any kind of fallout concerning the NRA in this yesterday, okay? Amanda, as we're looking around, okay? And see if the NRA, if Delta has responded. Let's Google while we're on break if Delta's responded, if they're talking to the NRA, if they responded to Georgia, if there's anything new on that, we will look that up. And we're going to come back and we'll talk about the governors yesterday, and I'm going to play some of Donald Trump's best clips because this guy knows how to work a room. President of the United States. Take us a break.
The Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
It's just this simple. Nobody beats Days on price. If it's a Chevy, you'll pay less at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save $4,000 off a new 2018 Chevy Malibu, or save up to $10,000 off a new 2018 Silverado Crew Cab. It doesn't matter which Chevy you choose. Nobody beats Days on price. $10,000 off Silverados and $4,000 off Malibus at Days Chevy in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I just want to make sure I got something. Just want to make sure it's understand that in the comments that were made concerning Delta, that the governor did not threaten, is my understanding from that caucus meeting yesterday. Now, there's a lot of national news going on, but very little inside the state news as far as what happened with Delta in the Senate caucus. Delta did not, Nathan Deal, the governor, did not, according to sources in the room, did not threaten to kill the legislation. Did not threaten to kill the legislation. In fact, that's from State Senator Steve Gooch that gave me that quote this morning. So when you hear that around that the governor threatened, he said, no, that did not happen. Now, we have a couple, we got the NRA's response, and then we have a couple of, Sam responded, we have one. Do we have Sam's tweet? Okay, put that one up there. Sam responded to our tweet this morning saying they are not dumping anybody, they are eliminating the discounts that NRA members get. Cagle's comments show that he is not for free enterprise. He wants to control companies and their policies. Sam also responded to another one. Apparently, Sam number 2 there, apparently Delta was giving NRA some welfare. Now they are bitching about not getting it anymore. So those are some of the responses. And you have an NRA response? Did you come up with the NRA response?
I do. The National Rifle Association responded to the growing backlash, which led, this is a Fox source, and it led to multiple companies to cut with the organization in one of their articles that was posted on the 26th. In an email Saturday, the NRA called the company's actions a shameful display of political and civic cowardice, and said that the loss of corporate discounts and other perks, quote, will neither scare or distract the NRA members. In time, these brands will be replaced by others who recognize the patriotism and determined commitment to the constitutional freedoms are characteristics of a marketplace they very much want to serve.
Okay, let's go with yesterday's governor's meeting with the President of the United States, and let's go with video one. It says, actually the title says, President Trump, I would run into the Florida school. You got that titled? I would run into. All right, let's play that video. This is yesterday. Yesterday, the governor's meeting in Washington, D.C. happens annually. President Donald Trump had an open forum for the governors to say whatever they wanted about school safety, and I would run into a Florida school. Play that video.
But we have to take steps to harden our schools so that they're less vulnerable to attack. This includes allowing well-trained and certified school personnel to carry concealed firearm. At some point, you need volume. Now, I don't know that a school is going to be able to hire 100 security guards that are armed. Plus, you know, I got to watch some deputy sheriffs performing this weekend. They weren't exactly Medal of Honor winners, all right? The way they performed was, frankly, disgusting. They were listening to what was going on. The one in particular, he was early, then you had three others that probably a similar deal a little bit later, but a similar kind of a thing. You know, I really believe, you don't know until you test it, but I really believe I'd run in there even if I didn't have a weapon. And I think most of the people in this room would have done that too, because I know most of you. But the way they performed was really a disgrace.
Okay, now, they're talking about the cost, and I think Donald Trump is correct. I do think if you care. Now, the media misses the caring part, okay? Donald Trump, when he talks about arming teachers, all right, I've listened to this, and I'm so tired of the pieces that the media is picking out and wanting to play. But, you know, the sheriff, Scott Israel, said, I don't want our teachers armed. I want them to be teachers. We'll handle the security. Well, guess what? That did not work out. How'd that work out for you? It didn't. So, the President of the United States is totally being taken out of context, okay? There are holsters that you cannot pull the gun out of, okay? You can't just reach up. It's not like a student's going to be able to come and pull the gun out. There are thousands of teachers, there's hundreds of thousands of teachers across the United States today that have a carry permit. Absolutely. They have a carry permit. I'll guarantee you they have a concealed carry permit. I guarantee in Georgia there's hundreds of students that have a concealed carry permit, okay? I mean, not student, teachers. Hundreds of thousands of teachers that have a concealed carry permit, all right? Donald Trump is saying that they have to be able to handle the weapon. They have to be able to do it. He's not asking every teacher to line up, get a government-issued gun, and put it in their top desk drawer. He's not asking that. But that's the way it's being made to look and portrayed. Now let's go to the next one. Governor to Trump, and this is the governor of the state of Washington, a Democrat, you know, and Trump doesn't put up with stuff. He doesn't. So let's listen to Governor to Trump, tweet less, listen more on guns. You have that one? Let's look at that one.
Arming our teachers. And
not your teachers.
Not your
arming a small portion that are very gun adept that truly know how to handle it. Because
let me-
I do feel, Governor, it's very important that gun-free zones, you have a gun-free zone, it's like an invitation for these very sick people to go there. I do think that there has to be some form of major retaliation if they're able to enter a school. And if that happens, you're not going to have any problems anymore because they're never going to the school. You're never going to have a problem. So it would just be a very small group of people that are very gun adept. Anyway, go ahead, Governor.
If I may respond to that, let me just suggest whatever percentage it is, I heard at one time you might have suggested 20%. Whatever percentage it is, speaking as a grandfather,
right.
speaking as a governor of the state of Washington, I have listened to the people who would be affected by that. I have listened to the biology teachers, and they don't want to do that at any percentage. I've listened to the first grade teachers that don't want to be pistol packing first grade teachers. I've listened to law enforcement who have said they don't want to have to train teachers as law enforcement agencies, which takes about 6 months. Now, I just think this is a circumstance where we need to listen, that educators should educate, and they should not be foisted upon this responsibility of packing heat in first grade classes. Now, I understand you have suggested this, and we suggest things, and sometimes then we listen to people about it, and maybe they don't look so good a little later. So I just suggest we need a little less tweeting here, a little more listening, and let's just take that off the table and move forward.
All right, thank you very much. You know, we have a number of states right now that do that. And I think with that in mind, I'll call on Greg Abbott, great governor of Texas. Greg? Right here. You have it?
Sure. Texas authorized schools to adopt policies to implement a school marshal program where individuals would be trained to have a weapon and to be able to use that weapon. And we now have well over 100 school districts in the state of Texas where teachers or other people who work in the school do carry a weapon and are trained to be able to respond to an attack that occurs. Now, it's not always a school teacher. It could be a coach. It could be an administrator. It could be anybody who works in that school. But it's a well-thought-out program with a lot of training in advance. And candidly, some school districts, they promote it because they will have signs out front, a warning sign that be aware there are armed personnel on campus, warning anybody coming on there that if they attempt to cause any harm, they're going to be in trouble.
Well, I think that's great. And so essentially what you're saying is that when a sick individual comes into that school, they can expect major trouble, right? Major trouble. The bullets are going to be going toward him also. And I think that's great. And you know what's going to happen? Nobody's going into that school, Greg. That's a big difference. Difference.
You know what's going to happen, Greg? Nobody's going into that school. That's a big difference. See, the governor of Washington State, okay, tried to misrepresent everything. He tried to do everything he could to uphold the system and you know, a pistol packing first grader. And here is the one, as a grandparent, this is what this person says, as a grandfather, speaking as a grandfather, okay? Let me tell you something, speaking as a grandfather, if you have a sick individual that comes in, just like Donald calls it right out, sick individual comes in, they're going to have the bullets coming at them. So as a grandfather of any of the 17 this morning, as a grandfather of any of those kids at Parkland High School, would have hoped that one of the 4 deputies would have entered the school, or someone inside could have returned fire. And again, sadly to say that we would be talking about 3-4 casualties, and that's too many, not 17. They have a, you know, an invitation to go in there. It's a speaking as a grandfather, okay? You keep saying a small group of people. That's all it takes. Now, Texas, Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, says, hey, we have a school marshal program. 100 school districts in the state of Texas. Signs are out front. Beware. Someone has a firearm inside. Firearms are inside. Beware. Not beware of dog, not gun-free zone. Beware. Someone has firearms, okay? Inside. Now, that being said, there's a lot of discussion on school resource officers, okay? School resource officers. Not every district can afford that. Now I'm not opposed to school resource officers by no means. I don't want my words taken out of context. But not every school system in the state of Georgia. There's a lot of rural areas, okay, in the United States that can hardly or can't afford or do not bring in enough real estate property tax to even, maintain their schools, let alone hire full-time guards. And there are situations where you can't afford resource officers and you can't afford to hire all of these full-time people. It's like Donald Trump said yesterday in this meeting. I mean, you have areas where, let's just say off the top of our head, a resource officer, and you got 50,000, you got training, you got equipment, you got the person, and you give a school teacher $1,000 a year bonus, maybe $1,500, whatever, bonus, versus $50,000. Because there's areas that cannot afford it. Now, me, myself, hey, if we can have a school resource officer, keep an eye on everything, drugs, not just returning fire. Teachers can return fire. School resource officers can handle a lot more stuff than just returning fire, drugs, other things on campuses that do not pertain to school shootings. So school resource officers are very valuable when you're able to afford to have them. Okay, but some sick individual comes in. Donald Trump says they're going to return. Okay, they're going to return. This was one of the best sessions yesterday. Now I want to play one more. Okay, I want to play one more, and then we'll get the other one ready. You see where this video? I said it says Trump's willing to take on the NRA in gun control debate. It's got to start at 40 seconds. You got that? Let's play that one before we go to break.
The way they performed was really a disgrace. There's no bigger fan of the Second Amendment than me, and there's no bigger fan of the NRA. And these guys are great patriots. They're great people, and they want to do something. They're going to do something. And they're going to do it, I think, quickly. I think they want to see it. But we don't want to have sick people having the right to have a gun. Plus, when we see somebody is sick, like this guy, when the police went to see him, they didn't do a good job, but they have restrictions on what they can do. We got to give them immediate access to taking those guns away so that they don't just leave and he sit there with 7 different weapons. Got to give them immediate access. Don't worry, you're not going to get any. You won't. Don't worry about the NRA. They're on our side. You guys, half of you are so afraid of the NRA. There's nothing to be afraid of. And you know what? If they're not with you, we have to fight them every once in a while. That's okay. They're doing what they think is right. I will tell you, they are doing what they think is right. But sometimes we're going to have to be very tough, and we're going to have to fight them. But we need strong background checks. For a long period of time, people resisted that. But now people, I think, are really into it.
Okay, we need strong background checks. The NRA, they think they're doing the right thing. They're good people. He doesn't say they're bad people. Trump, people don't understand. He did not go in a room before this and get all of the talking points. He does not go in with all of the talking points. all of the correct things to say, all of the political things to say. President Donald Trump has nothing against the NRA. He says they're good people. They're doing what they believe is right, okay? Hey, but every once in a while, we're going to have to say what we want to say, and we have to be able to say what we want to say. The NRA says what they want to say, and hey, we got to have strong background checks. He's up for strong background checks. What is the argument on the 21 raising a firearm, the AR-15 to 21? Is, you know, handguns are already 21. Now, one of the arguments I have heard about raising the age to 21 is, why would you take the constitutional right here's the Constitution, why would you take the constitutional right from a 20-year-old mother with children to be able to defend their children? Why would you take that right away from a 20-year-old mother to defend her children if it's a single mom, a single mom, or at any time a mother to defend her children? Why would you take that right away? So that is it. Now when we come back, I want to look at a whole different side of this with the governor of Kentucky, Scott Bevin. A little more on this, and then we'll move into some other news of the day and several tweets that the president has out and what's going on. Actually, I was shocked. I didn't even stay on there for 10 minutes because I didn't want to hear it. MSNBC started out with a CNN poll and was trying to move their propaganda over to midterm elections. Ingalls joins, let me say this before we go to break, Ingalls joins the corporations that have given out tax breaks. You can go to fetchernews.com and you can see an article there on Ingalls. Several employees opened their paycheck and got a letter envelope in their paycheck that was signed by Robert Ingle himself that said, due to the tax reform bill, that eligible employees were getting, and I don't know what the eligibility was getting a one-time bonus. So Ingalls has added on to that of the companies and the interesting thing is several of their employees that are just not rich people. Nancy Pelosi, let me just say this, okay? I'm not getting off subject here, but Nancy Pelosi said it was crumbs. And I know there's one individual that started stocking shelves in Ingalls. This is for you, Nancy Pelosi, all right? This one individual started stocking shelves through high school in Ingalls, okay? And now he is clear up to assistant store manager. He may be a store manager now. I'm not 100%. But this guy has worked his way through. He went in on every shift Ingalls told him to go in. He did every department they told him to work in from the time he was a kid. He's a grown married man now, and he posted on social media, thank you to Donald Trump and the tax reform, thanking the Republicans. And this was not crumbs to this individual, Nancy Pelosi, not crumbs. America will remember that. I'm your host, BKP. Let's take a break because there's a couple more things on video. I do want to get to the governor of Kentucky because he actually talks about something that nobody else is touching, and then we'll look around for some other things in the day.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
New Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hot.
Okay, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Before we start in, we're getting to the downside of the this show of the day. Tomorrow morning we will be at Circuit World in Blue Ridge, and our guest tomorrow morning, and we're doing a special show. We're usually there on Fridays. We're still going to be there this Friday, but we're usually there on Friday, and we're doing a special show, and we're going to be having a superintendent of schools, Dr. Shanna Wilkes, superintendent of schools, that's Gilmer County, Fannin County superintendent of schools, Dr. Michael Gwatney, Sheriff, Gilmer County Sheriff, Stacy Nicholson, and Fannin County Sheriff Dane Kirby, and then we're also going to be having Allison Sosby, the district attorney. We're going to be talking about school safety in North Georgia, law enforcement, social media, how taking threats serious, securing our children. Because first and foremost, the number one thing, and I will tell you this, as I'm talking to these individuals that are going to be there tomorrow, first and foremost, securing our children, period, okay? Would the sheriff in your county tell your deputies to return fire, okay? Would they? What kind of training do they go through? What kind of school emergency situations do they go through? What is it like? So we're going to be talking to them, but then we're also inviting parents, students. We do know it's a school day, but parents, students, principals, SRO officers, school resource officers. You're welcome to come along and be a part of the discussion. Well, we want to remind you tomorrow morning from 8 to 10, the discussion is not how to ban an AR-15. It's not. The discussion is not whether we should outlaw bump stocks. It's not. The discussion is not whether, we should stop people from being members of the NRA. It's not. The discussion is totally focused on the security. Maybe you don't want teachers to have a gun. That's okay. Fine. Maybe you do. Maybe you would prefer a teacher have a gun. That's okay. Now, myself, I'm thinking to myself, if you have teachers that are showing up to school this morning, it's like college campuses. We've talked about campus carry in the state of Georgia, okay? We have the Virginia Tech. We talked about campus carry. If teachers are showing up this morning and their weapons are in their cars, now I'm just not trying to say, well, go look at the teachers' weapons, but if they have their weapons in their cars and they cannot bring them in, okay? I am so tired of hearing that, don't forget, I'm so tired of hearing that the teachers want to teach, okay? It's a lot of business owners defending their stores. Okay, I didn't put the video up, but there's a mother and daughter that defended their store on video that they were working, but when it came time to defend the store, they defended the store, okay? Donald Trump's trying to say those teachers love those children, and they love those children enough to defend them, not hide under a desk. And those are the kind of people we want defending our children. And not everybody, just a certain few that actually can go through the training and be authorized by local law enforcement to defend the kids if necessary. So you can teach science, and you can teach first grade, and why the governor of the state of Washington is saying this is just liberal garbage, period, continued liberal rhetoric that, hey, you know what? If you have a first grade teacher, I would like to see the kids of Sandy Hook alive. Okay, kindergarten kids, I'd like to see them alive. So if you have a first grade teacher that has their gun in their car or their gun at home, but they can't go to school and be authorized to use it to defend their kids. So that being said, and quit taking Donald Trump out of context. Now, Matt Bevin put his picture up. He is the governor of Kentucky. I don't want to get too far. Now, tomorrow also we'll have the All-Star panel with us, okay? The All-Star panel is going to ask some questions. We're all going to ask some questions, all right? Okay, that's why we're having different people there. All-Star panel will be with us to get involved in this discussion also. Matt Bevin is the governor of Kentucky. Let's go to the video. Now, he brings up something different, okay, that is not getting played anywhere today. Maybe, hopefully it is, but I'm going to play it here. Let's go to his comments. That's at 51 minutes and 44 seconds in this video. Go ahead and go with that, Amanda.
They're not going into that school. Question? Yes, Matt?
I don't beg to differ with most of what has been said here, but most of what we're talking about are things that are costly, have monetary cost. I do think it's important for us to start at every level with your office, with our respective offices as well, to seize the bully pulpits that we have to talk about the culture in this society. And I would challenge those in the media who would want to mock and ridicule this and would want to say that anybody who advocates for this, to find some fault in that person as a reason why that person should not be the one advocating for a higher level of moral authority or higher mores. To think twice, because these are your children and grandchildren as well. And when we mock and ridicule the very foundational principles that this nation was built upon, where you treat people the way you'd want to be treated, where you respect human life, where you respect the dignity of women and of children and of people who we have increasingly degraded in our society. This culture of death is becoming pervasive, and if it's not addressed by all the imperfect people in this room with a sense of purpose and a sense of aspiration, I think we're going to see a continued trajectory that's not good. Many things have not changed. There have always been guns, and there were fewer restrictions. Right. There have always been guns in homes and fewer rules. It isn't to say that these rules and these restrictions are necessarily bad. But what has changed is what we do or don't do as it relates to acknowledging the value and the dignity of every human life. And when you couple that with the number of psychiatric drugs that are increasingly systemic and that have very severe warnings associated with them related to depression and suicidal thoughts, you put all these things in a mess, and no one among us is bold enough or willing to step up and challenge the fact that this is a problem. This is why it goes unchecked. And I would call on you, sir, as I'm calling on my fellow governors and myself, to seize the opportunities we have to call America to higher action as it relates to our mores. Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. And that's why we're here. And I think, you know, I don't know if it's going to be mentioned or if it's going to be mentioned.
And get it back, get it ready for the next one I have up. Our mores. Matt Bevin says, let's talk about the culture in our society. Nobody will touch that. Moral authority. We get mocked and ridiculed in the media. Mocked and ridiculed, okay? The lack of respect for human life. Watch these video games, folks. Watch how the movies, go to the movies. Hollywood preaches to us, okay, about guns, about gun violence. But the morality, we get mocked and ridiculed. There's no respect for human life. Now, this is not a pro-life show, but there's no respect for human life from Planned Parenthood, from abortion, to these video games that we've desensitized the kids. They're desensitized. And then they go to the movies, and we want to know how many people can be killed and how many guns can be used in a movie and how many cars could wreck and blow up and airliners could crash and people die. Horrific deaths in these movies. We have theaters now that are actually realistically with the surround sound and the 4K digital screens and so forth. And also we have video games that they have developed with again the 4K projection in the culture of death. Okay, there's always been guns. There's always been guns. There's always been guns in homes. But what has changed? Our values. Our values and morals have changed. And then he takes on, and Amanda, I like this, he took on the psychiatric drugs. With all of these side effects of depression. I mean, look at what we have these kids on in our country. I mean, we prescribe so many psychiatric drugs that have. This is the most complicated thing in the universe. Is your brain, and that's not a joke. And we keep throwing little pins inside the brain with these psychiatric drugs. A drug that tells your brain you don't want to smoke. A drug that tells your brain you're happy. A drug that tells your brain, you're not as sad, your bluebird of happiness is not gone. Whatever. Your anxiety, you're calm, you're this. I mean, side effects, suicidal thoughts, depression. We got these kids on there. And Matt Bevin says we need to be bold enough. So I'm with him. I think Matt Bevin of Kentucky, Governor, thank you for saying what you said, because I do not think it will be played anywhere else or put out anywhere else. Let's go to the last. Is this the last part of a video I have for today? Let's go to this last part of this governor's meeting with President Trump, because there are some things I want to say concerning this.
put out without having to expend an amount of dollars in keeping our schools and our school personnel safe.
It's well said. The fact is that if you have a teacher or you have a coach or you have somebody that's very adept, only adept, and a lot of people don't have anything, they don't know what it looks like, they can't lift it, but only adept at weaponry and guns. And only a small number. You don't need that many. But we all learned a lot over the weekend or last week when you saw a man that was properly armed standing outside, probably afraid to go in, and now it turns out that there were probably 4 of them. They don't love the students, they don't know the students. The teachers love the students and they want to protect those students. The other thing is cost. The school in Florida was so large, Rick, such a big school, you would have had to have 100, 150 guards. I mean, you would have had to have a lot of guards to have that building properly manned. Then you have an armed camp. Whereas doing it like I think you're suggesting, and like many people in this room agree with, it costs almost nothing. I would actually give a bonus to every coach, teacher, et cetera, because they should go through training. As good as they are, they should go through a very strong, strenuous training. But I would like to give them a bonus. So let's say you gave them a $1,000 bonus for the year, and you'd have 50 or 60 of them in the school. Compare that to paying $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 each. Where are the schools going to get that kind of money? Somebody suggested last night, we're going to harden the doors, we're going to make it impossible to get in. I said, that's good, except in one instance. If the killer gets in and he closes the doors and you can't get into the school. They said, I never thought of that. Don't forget, I was in the real estate business. And when you harden those schools, you're not going to get in. But if they get in, then you're not getting in. Law enforcement's not getting in. Somebody else said, we have something that we're working on. What do you see the cost of these things? Smoke fills into the school. Smoke. So you have a guy standing there with a weapon, and now he's getting crazy because there's smoke all over them. All he's going to do is shoot endlessly. He's going to go nuts. This is another plan. This is a new one. I'm sure put out by some company that wants to make a lot of money. Smoke is going to fill the room and fill the hallways. That's not going to help. And then law enforcement's going to go and fight through the smoke. They're not going to know what they're shooting. This is a serious plan. I think I talked that particular person out of it. But I do. When you talk about hardening, the other thing is this, harden. You harden. The cost to your schools and your communities and the federal government will be astronomical when you start putting in main doors, closing other doors, changing hallways around, you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars, and you can do it for nothing. As you and myself and our great governor from Texas and others, I think there are 9 states that do it that way, and they're thrilled. They're thrilled. They're thrilled.
Okay, I want to give the president enough time. Teachers, great teachers that love their students, coaches that love their students, love their players. Okay, we're not talking about someone that can't even lift a gun. If you can't lift a gun, we're not talking about you. Okay, this deputy was afraid to go in. All right, teachers love their students. Schools are so large. Now, there's so many things that's being talked about, but nobody's talking about the size. We're talking about a deputy that would not go in. But nobody is really talking about the size of these campuses. And if you really arm these campuses properly, you're going to build fortresses. You're going to have armed camps, okay? Now, we're not saying not to have, and where's that money come from? And we're not saying we don't advocate or support school resource officers. But on some of these major campuses, school resource officers can be there. And we also could have teachers that the school resource officers know who they're dealing with, okay, and know who's on campus with a weapon, all right, that, could help out. He would give them a bonus, all right? Who's going to get that kind of money? Now, everybody talks about putting buzzers on the doors, which I understand that, but once they're in, how are you going to get law enforcement in? So there's a lot to be discussed. Everybody has these knee-jerk reactions. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a brief break. We're going to come back. We're going to switch up the conversation. Before we leave today, we want to go over some of the president's tweets and look around at some other things that are making news this morning. Take us a break, Amanda.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the Hut.
Okay, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We have a president that believes in fighting back, and that's exactly what he's been doing this morning on Twitter. So let's not end our day. We have 20 minutes. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. 2 hours ago, he is quoting, President Donald Trump is quoting Judge Napolitano Napolitano on Martha McCallum's show on Fox, and he tweets, he's got a very good point. Somebody in the Justice Department has a treasure trove of evidence of Miss Clinton's criminality at her own hands or through others that ought to be investigated. I fully agree with the president on that, Judge Napolitano said, and President Trump commented on. And 2 hours ago, I've been skeptical about the collusion and obstruction claims for the last year. I just don't see the evidence in terms of the collusion. It's all a bit implausible based on the evidence we have. Jonathan Turley on Fox News, so the president is quoting all of these comments that are being made on Fox News. And then, this is an hour ago, President Donald J. Trump tweeted out, we've seen no evidence of collusion, capital letters. I have seen nothing, the firing of James Comey and all the aftermath that suggests that the president has obstructed justice because he's exercising his power as president of the U.S. I just don't see it. Judge Ken Starr. And last but not least, an hour ago, President Donald Trump tweeted out, witch hunt. Just that simple, witch hunt. So, that's pretty much how it went, right? Now, this sheriff in Broward County, we did this yesterday, so if you get a chance to go back, okay? Now, not being derogatory right now, we're not interested in going down the road of things that are unnecessary or maybe do not apply, but there's a complete failure. One of the reasons we're doing our show tomorrow is to show actually the opposite side. There's a complete failure of the system there in Parkland, Florida, a liberal system, from the social services that was working with this young man, okay? Local law enforcement that was working, he is a Democrat sheriff, local law enforcement that is working with this young man. YouTube comment with the FBI, the school system itself with the children that had reported it, total failure, total failure. Deborah Wasserman Schultz's district, Democrat. The mayor of the county, which is equivalent to what you call your chair commissioner in your county, okay, in Broward County, 7 of the 8 commissioners are Democrats. The school board's entirely Democrats. And the mayor of the county, Broward County, is the first African-American woman, Muslim woman, to be elected mayor in that county. So, we know from everything we've looked at the full scope of collapse, okay, of the full scope of collapse from every level there. Hold on just a minute, I'm looking for something here, trying to get something here. Now this morning, MSNBC is looking at midterms, all right? And midterm elections, they're looking at midterms, and they brought up a CNN poll, and they're trying to take right now and diminish. President Donald Trump is polling around 50% right now. They don't like it. They are trying to push down the good news on the tax cuts. They're going to do everything they can to push down the economy being the reason to vote Republican at the midterm. They're working on it as hard as they can. A recent CNN poll gives a general, there's no candidate, folks. A recent CNN poll gives a general, in a general blanket polling data, Dems have a 54-38 advantage over Republicans. Don't get nervous over that. The 38 on Republicans, the reason Republicans are not higher than, they're not, Republicans wait. They wait to see their candidate. They wait to see who it is. They don't fall for the pollsters. They don't make a bunch of stuff. The Republican voters, let's put it like that, voters, they don't just make a bunch of stuff up. They don't take the calls. They're not interested in it. But the Dems climb all over it. So in the generic ballot with no candidate, new CNN poll, Dems have a 54-38 edge in the upcoming election. Watch that. Enthusiastic. Dems are more enthusiastic. The enthusiasm gap between Dems and Republicans. Dems are much more enthusiastic, according to this new CNN poll, by 57-43. Now here's the poll that I'm not going to tell you I agree that it's 57-43. I am going to agree with something that you're not going to like, that Dems are right now, okay, enthusiastic. Now, would you have thought that in the 9th district of Georgia, you would be able to round up 30 Occupy liberal group in a group, Occupy whatever, okay, Democrats, liberals, that you'd be able to get 30 together to show up at Congressman Doug Collins' office in Gainesville to protest Congressman Doug Collins' support, my comments, support of the NRA or not, or to protest the fact that your Congressman Doug Collins will not come out against the NRA and make comments against the NRA, negative comments. Would you think 30 would get together to go do that? Not even 10 years ago, I would have never thought 30 would get together to go over to the congressman's office or whoever it may be at that time and protest NRA. So the enthusiasm gap, I don't believe it's 57-43 with Republicans, but I do have to look at you and tell you it is there. It is real. Okay? I'm telling you right now, the enthusiasm gap is real. I've asked you over and over. There's a lot of feeling. I call several people that work with several congressmen, and I talk to them throughout the day. There's a general feeling sometimes, and don't get those hard workers out there, you know who you are, but there's a general feeling sometimes that President Donald Trump won, it's over, but it's not. It's far from over. When President Donald Trump won, that's why we need to ratchet up tenfold as far as getting involved and making these things happen that we want to happen. Okay? You can't continue to say things like President Trump is folding to the NRA or he's folding to this or that. You have to come out, be the phone calls, the tweets, the talking to your friends, bold, go to different activities, call your congressman. If you want things to change and say, I'm supporting my president. So enthusiasm gap, I hear all the time from people in congressional offices, hey, we need to hear your voice. They are calling. I hear that all the time. The Dems are ringing the phone off the hook. So we got to be careful of that, folks. It is coming up. If anything hurts in 2018, it will be the lack of enthusiasm by Republicans to get out and get good candidates on the ballot, support the candidates, and fight. You're going to be in a fight. I'm going to take a brief break and come back. We got about 10 minutes, and I'm going to have a final thought, and I'm going to give you one more. We're going to look at tomorrow's show one more time and what we have planned. Take us a break to Amanda.
Had the time of my life. I never felt like this before. I swear it's the truth.
Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart.
It's just this simple. Nobody beats Days on price. If it's a Chevy, you'll pay less at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save $4,000 off a new 2018 Chevy Malibu, or save up to $10,000 off a new 2018 Silverado Crew Cab. It doesn't matter which Chevy you choose. Nobody beats Days on price. $10,000 off Silverados and $4,000 off Malibus at Days Chevy in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Folks, we can make a difference. We can have our voice heard. I'm your host, BKP. You can. I will give you a guarantee. Tomorrow, we will get our comments to Congress. Tomorrow, we will have our voices heard. So why are we getting together tomorrow at Circuit World in Blue Ridge tomorrow morning? To talk about school safety? Because we would like to, not me folks, you, we would like to get it right. When things happen like Parkland, a tragedy, there's reaction. Now the tragedy, yes, just there needs to be some reaction. But how fast we react, who is in charge of the reaction that affects us later down the road, that puts laws in place, you and I should be part of the conversation. So parents, you're invited. Now let me tell you this, House GOP, and I promise we can get this to them. House GOP to offer school safety. This came out yesterday, last night at 6 o'clock. House GOP to offer school safety response to Florida shooting. Okay? House Republican leaders are working on a legislative package to bolster school safety in response to a deadly shooting in Florida. Representative Steve Stivers, a Republican from Ohio, chairman of the National Republican Congressional Committee, said it will build off an existing piece of legislation. We're gonna fix it, he said, add to it, take some things away from it, and move it, Stivers told The Hill on Monday. You may see something introduced this week, but obviously you won't see it passed this week, he added, referring to the shortened work week in the House. But pretty quickly, you'll see it soon. Folks, that's why tomorrow I want to do this 2-hour special in North Georgia. And I want us to be creative. The all-star panel will be there. Rick, Bruce, and Jane. Okay, they will be there. Parents, students, you are welcome. But please come knowing that you're going to be participating as a discussion in what's the solutions and where we're at. Okay, we're not going to have a AR-15. There's not going to be a people yelling out ban AR-15s. We're not going to do that. We want you there. Freedom of speech. But let's remember what this is going to be tomorrow. So parents, teachers, students. We're going to have Superintendent of Schools Dr. Michael Gwatney of Fannin County. We have Superintendent of Schools Dr. Shannon Wilkes, Gilmer County. We're going to have the Sheriff of Fannin County, Dane Kirby. We're going to have the Sheriff of Gilmer County, Stacy Nicholson. We're going to have the District Attorney, B. Allison Sosby. And you're going to be a part of a show that we're going to talk solutions. And we're going to make sure people like Congressman Doug Collins see it. And we're going to make sure they see it in the House. And what you think in North Georgia. Okay, not just what they think should happen in the city somewhere, or what all of a sudden politicians like the governor of Washington State does not want pistol packing. Say that 3 times fast. First grade teachers. So that's tomorrow, Circuit World, 8 a.m. Don't forget, you're welcome to be there. It's going to be from 8 to 10 in the morning. I don't know if I have anything else. I mean, I have some other things, but I just don't have time to bring it up because we only have 2 minutes. You know what I mean, Amanda? Really? That's your answer? There's
never enough time.
Huh?
There's never enough time in the day. I didn't make it up.
All right, folks, I'm not going to say I've met my match, but before we close today, let me just say Amanda's been here for several weeks now, okay? And I'm a morning person, so I come in, and, Sam's not a real morning person, and, but I'm a morning person, and so I come in, and I play music, and I tell stories, and I talk. And Amanda comes in this morning and wants to tell me a story. Folks, I don't know, but I may have met my morning match of somebody that comes in and says, hey, let me tell you what happened.
Oh, I'm a morning person.
And I'm like, okay, I need to hear this now. Yes, you need to hear it right now. I need to hear it right now. Folks, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. President of the United States. Don't take him out of context. Take time to watch and listen and open your ears to what he says, and do not let the liberals continue to tell you what he thinks, because they don't know. They can't handle it. President going to head down to the border so he can look at border wall prototypes. Okay? He's going to be heading down there not long. Texas has a school marshal program. Arkansas has the same thing. But Matt Bevin, the governor of Kentucky, I like what he said, and we're going to even talk about that tomorrow. Tomorrow, 8 a.m., Circuit World, Blue Ridge, you are welcome to join us and fill the room and ask questions yourself. Take us out of here, Amanda.